Hey, I hope everybody is doing good today. Happy Monday. Mondays can be tough. My Monday was a little bit long today, but it wasn't a bad day. It was a good day. Everybody did well and everybody woke up. That's a blessing. I wanted to talk to you guys today about burnout a little bit. And we've covered methods and techniques for debriefing solo. And this is going to be another solo debriefing. So if you're not interested in that, then you can keep scrolling or whatever. But if you are, debriefing is just a way to sort of deslime yourself or unburden yourself psychically from the day that you just had. So let's pretend I had a bad day today, had a bad outcome with a patient, or run in with a colleague or a coworker or a family member. And I was feeling some stress and anxiety. We've talked about the rearview mirror debriefing, and I've talked about nature debriefing, and this is sort of a mixture of those. You can look back in the timeline of the Heal Our Healers Facebook page for those, and I'll probably redo them and put them on YouTube also. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to give a voice to the stress of our day and of the thing that's bothering us. And we're also trying to get a mind-body connection. We lock stress up inside of our bodies, and over time it accumulates, and we get this moral burden that can cause us to have compassion fatigue, burnout. We can even have a PTSD event that contributes to burnout and compassion fatigue, and ultimately fleeing from our organization or from our profession, and that's what we want to avoid. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a modified version of tapping. Tapping is just a way of grounding yourself. We've talked about grounding before, your five senses, three things that you can hear, you can see, you can smell, you can taste, and you can feel. And that's a way of getting us out of our head, out of our rumination, our catastrophizing, our constant circles of anxiety and frustration. So today we're going to tap, and there's 10 energy meridians. The top of your head is one. You just kind of tap. You can probably hear it. And the next one is on your eyebrow. This is called your glabella. So the bone, the side of your orbit, bone, infraorbital bone, under your nose, your chin, your clavicle, under your arm, and then on your inside of your wrist, right there where your wristwatch goes, tap, 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 and then the karate chop point, wrote meds, on your hand. So the wrist and the side of the hand, the karate chop part of the hand, is the last part right there. And so you just tap those, and what that does, if you believe in energy meridians, is it helps align your chi or your energy. It's an EFT technique, emotional freedom technique. But really what it's doing is it's digging into your sensory cortex of your brain. So if you look at the sensory cortex, the strip of your brain right here, your body takes up a large portion of your brain, and we're trying to get out of our minds and engage our bodies. And so the first thing we would say is, I had a tough day today. I've got a lot of anger and frustration in my throat. I feel like I can't breathe. I feel like that there's a vice around my lungs. I'm having trouble taking deep breaths. My cheeks are red, or I've got a pounding headache. And so we just acknowledge that thing that's going on in us. And if you want to, you can be tapping on that karate chop point or the wrist point as you're talking about this. So we're just given we're given language to our anxiety. We're given language to our symptoms. I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated because of whatever happened today. Then you talk about what happened, and the next thing you do is you take a couple of these two-step breaths. So it's like if you can breathe through your nose, breathe through your nose. And we're activating our parasympathetic nervous system now. So we're giving language to our anxiety, our frustration, our anger, our sadness, our grief, whatever happened today. I'm just so mad at John because of he didn't relieve me when he was supposed to, or he didn't take care of the patient, or because I didn't have the equipment I needed, or whatever. You just talk about it. You say it out loud. I feel like I've got a hot towel on my forehead. I'm just so angry and frustrated about it. Or my skin just feels like it's on fire, or my stomach is all in knots because I'm upset about the conversation I had to have with Susie because she didn't count her meds, or there was some issue with a patient. And so we acknowledge that physical part of our body that's feeling the trauma or the stress. And then we start tapping. So you just tap on top of your head and say, even though I'm feeling this pain in my chest and this frustration, I'm open to the idea of letting that go. And you can tap here on the glabella. Even though I'm angry and frustrated, I know that that doesn't serve me and I need to release that. Side of your eye. The only way to let that go is to let it go. I've got to release that, and I'm not quite sure how to do that, but I know that it's going to help me if I release it. Up under your eye, right here. It's safe and it's helpful for me to release that frustration, that anger, right here. Even though I feel this tremendous frustration about what happened and I need to make it right, it's not good to hold it inside my body. We're tapping on the clavicle, the bone. You really want to make bony contact and feel the vibrations. Under your arm, I'm open to the idea of releasing this stress, this anger, this frustration, and taking it back up tomorrow so that I don't have to take this home to my family, because I know it's not good to take these things home to my family. It's not good for me to hold them inside. Tap your wrist. So I'm tapping the inside of my wrist where my watch is. It's okay to let that go. I need to let that go. And then I like to hold my hands together and like chop them together like this, chop, chop, chop. But you can just tap the side of your hand, tap right here, tap, tap, tap. I need to let that go. And then you can do another round of that. And the whole idea here is to give voice to your frustration, your anger, engage your sensory cortex of your brain so that you're getting yourself out of your ruminations. You're stimulating your body, and by stimulating your body and initiating those feelings, you're getting out of your rumination. You're breaking that circle of anxiety. And then the last part is, it's okay to let that go. I know it's safe to let it go, and it's going to help me let it go. I don't want to take this home to my family. I can solve this problem tomorrow. We can have more conversations, or I can do some more education, or I can write emails or whatever I need to do, but I'm not going to carry this home. I'm going to let go so that I can have a restful night and I can have peace, and I don't want to have anxiety. This feeling in my chest, it's okay for it to be lighter and freer. It's okay to let that go. I'm going to release it so that I can rest tonight and be more relaxed and more peaceful and approach my day again tomorrow with a clear head and a free heart. It's safe to let that go. I'm going to let it go. Hit your wrist together again. Even though it feels difficult to release these things, I'm going to release it, and I'm going to reevaluate it at a later date. And then karate chop points again. And then you can grab your wrist, circle around your wrist, just like your watch is circle around your wrist, and you grab your wrist and you hold it. Take another deep breath and let it out and just say peace. And then you can release it. And what this does is it engages your imagination, it engages your mind, it stops you from ruminating. It may have some energy effects. I'm not sure about that, but I do know that it's going to engage your sensory cortex. I do know that it feels kind of good, and it helps. So give it a shot. Let me know what you think. It's an Eft technique. The whole goal is we don't want to allow our frustrations, angers, irritation to stagnate inside of us. And we don't want it to accumulate and build up day after day after day after day, because ultimately that's what burns us out. That's why we can't take it anymore, when we've got too much anger, frustration, resentment, fear, sadness inside of us. And so part of cleansing your body and cleansing your mind is just taking a big deep breath. I like to do that in nature. Maybe this will be your bedroom where you do it. Maybe it'll be the parking deck before you go home, or the driveway before you go in the house. Alabama can get very challenging in the hot summertime, but take a break before you go into your house and try to develop some space so that you can address your anger, frustration, anxiety, sadness, fear, shame, whatever the thing is that happened to you that day that's causing you some stress and trauma. If you don't have anyone to talk to debrief with a human being, it's perfectly acceptable and even beneficial to some people to just do solo debriefing. So whether that's looking at yourself in the mirror in the car like we showed earlier on a video, or whether that's a prayer to God, or whether that is a meditation, or whether that's what we just did now. Do try to address your stress, your anxiety, your frustrations, your fears, and do try to intentionally break those cycles of rumination and catastrophizing. So I hope you have a great day. Thank you for being part of Heal Our Healers, and I hope this is helpful to you. If you have any questions, comments, or if you have any beneficial ways that you like to de-stress and debrief or address your anxiety and fears and frustrations, please drop those below, and have a great day. Love you guys. Keep your chins up, and I'll talk to you again soon.